KMCIowa.com. It is Monday, which means time for Chamber Talk here on 1570 KMCD. And we welcome Mendy McAdams into the studios. Hi, Mendy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, friend?
I'm fine. I was going to ask you this question real quickly. You were in last week, back from vacation. Now, a little behind-the-scenes note here. I've been listening for 3 weeks about how you could not wait to get on vacation. But was it nice to get home and have a week not being on vacation?
No.
Okay, all right, because I have that problem. I actually had a vacation scheduled for middle of this month. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. It'll probably be pushed back a few weeks, but I will anticipate, and then I was like, oh, I can't wait to get home and just get in my own bed. Kind of feeling.
Yes. Well, and then I came home, and the first week we were home, a part of my dryer went out, my garage fridge broke, and the deck fell off the mower. So it was. That
would have happened if you were home or not home anyway.
Exactly. So this past weekend, we got things fixed back up.
All right, a couple things on the calendar this week, as we've been mentioning throughout the morning. It is the treasure hunt weekend this weekend, and you're doing a lot of work for that. We'll talk about that in a matter of moments. But a lot of things happening this week on your calendar. I want to remind you to sign up for the Monday morning newsletter, Chamber Chatter, and it comes to your email box every Monday morning in the 8 o'clock hour. It kind of gives you a quick overview of what's happening. You can also log on to fairfieldiowa.com and check out the calendar of events. The things on there that I want to highlight this week, the salsa sale taking place tomorrow and Wednesday out at JCHC, sponsored by the Auxiliary. There's also a community band concert tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I'll say that with an asterisk because sometimes when it gets very hot, they will scrap those. So we'll just see what the weather's like tomorrow and how Jim feels about that. Also, the return of the live outdoor summer concert series in front of the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center on Thursday night. The incredible David Huckfeld, who was the point man for the Pines for a number of years, now returning to Fairfield with his Americana roots blues sound. I really dig David Huckfeld. That's Thursday night as well. So those are some things happening this week on the calendar. What else is on your calendar this week? Do you know?
So August 1st, the Fairfield Community Center has announced a dessert open house. So that'll be good. Go get some treats and cool off over there.
So that's on August 1?
August 1, yep.
August
1st.
You
can go over there and get a dessert and then come over and watch the band concert.
All right, fantastic. All right.
And of course, Leadership Fairfield is right around the corner. And if you want to get the early bird discount, you need to sign up this week or next. And then the discount goes away. That starts in September. It'll be the first Tuesday of each month, September through April, and then graduate at the awards banquet. And then Barnyard Bash is that same first week.
Listen, I love...
Get your booth signed up. Come on, Steve.
I love the Barnyard Bash, and I love the Iowa State Fair, and I love all those things, but it also signals the end of summer.
I know.
There's pangs of melancholy.
Yeah, but we're not kids anymore. Yeah. It's not like we don't get to work in the summer.
I know. A couple of business after hours on the calendar.
Yes.
The Fairfield Carnegie Museum is the foundation hosting the business after hours on the 10th. And
that's an Iowa State Fair theme.
Yeah, because, of course, Fairfield hosted the first Iowa State Fair. They're going to have fair-typed foods.
Yep. They're going to have some crafters in doing things that they would have been doing potentially at that first Iowa State Fair.
Churning butter?
Will
they be making
I heard some fun things.
Will they be making a butter cow?
We'll find out maybe next week or the week after, whenever Miss Gloria Countryman is scheduled to be on.
Maybe they'll make a butter Steve.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so
fantastic.
Great.
Also, Miller Realty will be hosting a mixer on the 17th. So mark your calendar, the 10th.
Big week.
And the 17th.
Big month.
Yeah, all right. You have a guest today as always, so I'll let you take over.
Thanks, Steve. Good morning, Miss Kelly.
Good morning.
All right, so you are Kelly Prickett, and you have a very long title.
I do. It's Director of the Entrepreneurship and Economic Development for the Indian Hills 10-county region. So here in Fairfield, but also the surrounding counties all the way over to Sheraton, all the way down to the border of Missouri. So we help businesses with a lot of different services through our Small Business Development Center, which those are free business counseling for anyone who wants to do business counseling. So that is a free service that we offer to all of those, especially going back to school. People are like, okay, what am I going to do for a career? Or summer's over, so I want to start my business. Well, we can help you. Or maybe you are retail business and you're like, okay, the summer months were kind of slow. I need to get my marketing. I don't know anything about marketing. We help with that. So there's a lot of different areas of business that we help with. So we can help with, hey, I have an idea. I want to start a business. How do I start? We can help you. Hey, I'm lacking on this marketing thing. Don't understand all the bells and whistles because marketing seems to change very frequently and fast, and I don't know how to get into it. And so what can we do? And we can also help with that and get their plan together. So we have a lot of different services there.
I think your business card is the one that I give out the most when people come into the office and they're like, I'm starting a business, but I don't know what to do.
Yes.
And we're trying to get off the ground yet this year.
Yes.
And I have an idea. How do I make it a storefront or a product? So some of those beginning steps, like where do I go?
Yeah.
First of all, making sure you have a good business plan is always
Yes.
important.
And there's different types of business plan. It all
Absolutely.
depends on who your audience is. So if you're looking for getting financing for your business, there's a more detailed business plan that you need to do. You need to make sure you have your financials. And when businesses ask you about cash flow and ask you about what's your future projection, and you look at them and go, what are you talking about? We can help that. But let's say you don't need that financial extra help, that you're like, okay, we have a savings. We just want to open this. We want to start something small. And a lot of people then go, well, I don't need a business plan. Well, you do. It just doesn't have to be as detailed, because just like at most things in life, if you set a goal, the only way you know you're going to achieve it is if you write it down and how the steps to get it. So maybe you focus more on your marketing plan, and you have a more detailed marketing plan than a financial plan. So there's many parts to a business plan. So that's what we focus on and where they're at. And so all business plans don't look alike.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be that 40-page thing that people are like, I don't want to do that. It can be as simple as a one-pager. And so we can even do as simple as that, depending upon who the audience as a business plan is for.
So you've been partnering with a lot of area chambers with your virtual coffee break series.
Yes. So one of the other things we do is we help educate. And we're a free business. Not only do we do the counseling, but just connecting to the free resources. So once a month, we try to do it the second Wednesday between 9 and 10. We did a virtual coffee break. And we try to bring different topics in. And on August 9th from 9 to 10, it's going to be 5 things every business owner should know. So this one's kind of a general overview. We're going to talk about cash flow. We're going to talk about marketing plan, go a little bit deeper, but more of a higher level, going kind of make a checkbox list of stuff, going, yep, I need to have that, or, oh, I don't know what that is. I need to get a little bit more details about that. And all of our workshops are just an hour. They're all free. They're virtual, so we encourage people. And I know you guys offer your offices for, if anyone says, well, I don't know how to do that internet thing, they can come to your office.
Absolutely. Or if they're in a business where you can't get away and have a quiet space to do a webinar for an hour, we actually hosted, our back office gets a webinar once in a while for people who just don't have a quiet space in their office.
Yes. So if somebody wants to do a watch party, they can come and contact you too.
And if you schedule in advance, we make sure there's coffee and donuts.
So yeah, it's even another bonus.
So then I'm guessing after your 5 things, then if somebody's like, oh my gosh, there's 3 of these I don't know anything about, then you can help them with resources to bone up on those.
Yeah, and one of the things that we do is we try to connect you to the best resource. So sometimes it's not always us. One of the great things about SBDC which is that Small Business Development Center, that one is a national program.
Yep.
So you are connected to everyone in our state officers. So for example, my expertise is not QuickBooks. However, the next counselor over is. And so you have a question about QuickBooks, I put you together with them. They do a virtual meeting with them, and they can help you with your QuickBooks. So if you have that question, you're like, I don't know how to do this, you don't have to figure it out. My background's marketing, so I go a little bit more in depth with marketing and social media just because it's my area that I know. So you get put into the experts in those areas. So it may not always be myself. Daryl Sarmento is our other business counselor. It might be him. And it might also be just somebody with the state that has that expertise. We had an expert who was in food cost for restaurants. So, really, especially restaurants are like a high turnover.
Absolutely.
It's really hard to understand in the details. So we actually put together with an expert. We had somebody talk about exporting. We have some great businesses here that export internationally, and we actually have a resource that can help them understand that process. So that's kind of one of those fun things. There is not a question too big for us.
Absolutely. So if I have, so first of all, do you have any of your other coffee breaks figured out after August?
We are working on the fall lineup.
Yep.
I know we do have September scheduled, and it's going to be another Google resource one. We've partnered with Lindsay Newland, and she is free. She's one of those other free resources. She is trained by Google to give out free resources if you have any questions about the Google tools and how do I do the Google website or how do I do analytics on Google.
Yep.
And so we're going to do one of those tools again in September.
Awesome.
I don't know what the topic is. We talked about analytics, so I don't know if that's what we scheduled on, but it will be a Google tool in September. But the fall schedule we're working on, then we'll be reaching back out and to do our fall schedule because it has been just a great resource for people to kind of tie into.
So if I need to get a hold of Kelly Prickett because I just realized I need 37 things,
Yes.
how can somebody reach you?
Yes. They can go two ways. They can go to if they would like a business counseling session, we, since we are a federally funded program, they have to go through our website, which is www.iowa, so Iowa, S as in Sam, B as in boy, D as in dog, C as in cat, so sbdc.org. And then there's request counseling, and they can get it there. Otherwise, they can call our office, and they can call us directly and at Indian Hills, and we can any of the Indian Hills number, and they'll connect you to my voicemail. So if you're like, well, I don't know I would tell them a number, but I know this number, just call Indian Hills, just ask for Kelly Prickett, and they will connect you with my voicemail.
And you are, of course, on the chamber website because you
on
are
the
a chamber member.
Yes.
Okay, so one of the other things, the reason that I wanted you to be here is because you just went through Leadership Fairfield.
I did. It was wonderful. It was so wonderful. And the things that you think you know, you learn more. And not only learning about the community, you're like, oh, I've lived here all my life, I know all this stuff, but the resources you get with the connections with others in the class, we had around 40, if I remember correctly, was our class size, but the individuals that we met that were in our class, the resources that I have gained from there, and I've used them for other things to help my business grow, to help our resources grow, and to help their resources grow as well. And it just becomes a network of people that you may have known them, but to get the deeper dive of knowing them is completely different. So that is really, and then also knowing what we have, like sometimes you're like, oh, I know about Masada Barnes, but I didn't know about the depth of what they offer. Or I know about Carnegie Museum, but I don't know the depth of that. Or even when we went to the dairy, and I don't remember the farmer's name again, but even there, I just remember I now go on Tuesdays to get my cheese. And so those are things that you wouldn't know unless you go.
Exactly. Now we know that's when Francis takes the good cheese. Exactly. All right. So Kelly's going to recommend it. What do you think, Steve?
Sounds outstanding.
Did you know that that's when Francis takes his Radiance Dairy cheese to Hy-Vee and everybody?
On Tuesdays?
It's on Tuesdays. Tuesday.
No. You know what I used to know, though, was the bread wrapper twisty tie colors. A color meant a different day, so that way you could get the freshest bread, like red was Monday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. But I don't think they do that
I don't think they do that anymore. That was very cool. Oh, my goodness. That's...
See, that was a life hack before there were things known as life hacks.
So if you need anything, you call Kelly Prickett. She knows all the things, or finds a friend that does.
Once again, I want to remind you that Chamber Talk is recorded most Mondays. You can find a link to that at the Fairfield Chamber of Commerce website, fairfieldiowa.com, also fairfieldmediacenter.com. And it features not only Mendy and her guests, but also the best back of the head in radio. 5 minutes before the top of the hour, CBS News coming up in a matter of moments. We have a look at the markets as well here on 1570 KMCD.